Okay, we are officially starting our group chat. Welcome everybody, and thank you for being here today again on another group chat. So in this group chat, I am going to be talking about the art of lowballing and why lowballing is very important to our business and not just kind of a luxury, I guess, but actually a necessity. I want to talk about the psychology of lowballing, how to lowball effectively with class so your customers actually like you and still want to continue to do business, not only do business, but do business with you even more, although that you lowballed them. Okay, and then I want to also talk about how to build relationships with your customers so they continue to come back so we can continue to lowball them and make big profits, and also how to upsell customers and lowball them on the upsells even. So everybody cool with this? Does this sound good? So it sounds funny, right? Lowballing, and it might sound like this is kind of a bad thing, lowballing, but lowballing is absolutely crucial to our business. So before I get started in the presentation, I want to tell you guys a little bit. By the way, I just want to say how awesome you guys are doing. I mean, we've got people that are doing just fantastic numbers in the course, and even people that used to struggle and were having a hard time are now hitting numbers like 3, 4, 5,000 a month where they never even flipped a phone for 3 months. So I just want to say how great you guys are doing. That's fantastic. We've got people doing $30,000, $40,000 a month. We have 4 guys on this chat right now doing over $30,000 a month. Actually, well, not including me. We just did $35,000 this month as well. So I guess 5 if you count that. But congratulations to you guys for doing that as well. I lost my train of thought. So this weekend I was with my best friend. My best friend is a chief deputy negotiator for the U.S. government labor department for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau of the government. He works second under the president. So we're hanging out. We're talking about a deal he was negotiating for about $16 million. And this is like the stuff I do for fun, right? Like, other people go get drunk and party. I have a beer and we talk about negotiation for 3 hours. This is my excitement. But I don't know why I have like a fetish for this stuff. I love negotiating. It's like I don't just do it as part of business. Like I literally love selling and negotiating. It's like in my blood. So we're just hanging out. We're talking about this, and he was telling me about how he's closing these deals. And now the people we're dealing with people that are on Craigslist, Facebook groups. These are just average, regular people. But he's dealing with people that are senators. These are people on public television all the time. He's dealing with high-level government officials. These people are no fools by any means. So he has to be a smarter, sharper, more educated, and knowledgeable negotiator than these people that are high-level politicians, that are public speakers, that are on TV, right? And he showed me the strategy that he used in order to negotiate this. And I wanted to tell you this because, I've been doing this in phone flipping a long time. But I never... I've said it in some of the videos, but I wanted to break it down in an easy to understand format today for you guys to understand why lowballing is so effective. By the way, did anybody watch the video in the Facebook group that I did, that live video talking about that? So his language is a little vulgar, so I'm gonna try to tone it down to be a little bit more professional in this chat, okay? And break down the process. You guys are saying I saw it was great. So first off, let's talk about why do we need to lowball? Like why is lowballing crucial to our business, right? So first off, lowball is important because we get more deals if we lowball, all right? Believe it or not, we actually will lose more deals by offering customer the price they want up front, okay? And let me tell you the strategy with this, right? I'll break it down like this. Well, do you guys want the clean and friendly version, or should I just let loose to give you the vulgar version like my friend says? What do you guys want? I'll let you choose. Let loose, let loose, let loose. Okay, you guys gave me your permission. I'm going to give it. So this is what my best friend tells me he does when he's in a negotiation. So he says the first thing he does when he's on the negotiating table, he's got a team of negotiators. He's the head chief negotiator, and then he's against another one. Now he's like this deal. He's negotiating all the employees for this entire division of the government to move to a whole new building. It's a $16 million deal, right? So he says the first thing he does to set up to go against the head negotiator is he gives her a deal that is total shit, right? And he says, Dave, what I like to do is I call it shoveling shit. What I'll do is I'm going to shovel shit in their face on the first offer. Now, for you guys, let me relate this to phone flipping. So, if a deal could be, let's say it's a $200 phone that we appraise. We're going to sell it on eBay for $200, right? And let's say shoveling shit would be like offering them $70 for this phone. Would you guys agree? Right? That's a pretty big win on a phone if we can we can buy a phone for 70 and flip it for 200. We could probably consider that a low ball. You know, an average deal is probably like 100, and then like, you know, top dollar is like 110 to 120 on those, right, guys? So just so you guys can relate this to phone flipping, right? So, you know, we shovel shit in the face, and this is exactly what I do when I'm personally negotiating. I give you guys a lot of processes in the course to kind of break things down nice and easy, right? But you know, if you really want to be a really good negotiator, this is the way to do it here. So, you know, you give them an offer first. And here's the psychology of this. You guys remember the anchor bias? When he calls it shoveling shit, right? He's setting the anchor in their brain to think like, okay, well, you know, like, what are you talking, $70? That's it? That's all you're going to give me? This phone is worth $200 all day long. I see him selling on Facebook and eBay for like 200, 250, 70. Are you out of your mind? But this is the reaction he expects when he makes a negotiation. He wants the other person to actually get mad. He says he loves it when they get mad. Who here has lowballed someone and they've gotten upset? Anybody raise your hand? Because if you did, you're doing it right, okay? A lot of people are afraid of the person getting mad. So he says what people do is they offer filet mignon instead of a piece of shit on the first deal. He says then you've got nowhere to go when you're offering filet mignon first. So that means, like, if you're on your first deal, let's say it's a $200 phone, and you're offering them $120 because you don't want to offend the person. You don't want to get them upset. You don't want to get them mad. So you're giving them filet mignon up front, the $120 deal. Well, you've already shot yourself in the foot because now you just anchored that person as that's the starting price. Well, guess what? Almost everybody expects in a negotiation. What's the number one thing people expect you to do in a negotiation? Is haggle. Right? A counter offer. So they don't really know. A lot of these people that sell you phones don't really know how much their phone is actually worth. I'd say 75% of them don't, right? So his strategy is what he calls shoveling shit. And then they get upset. Nah, what are you, crazy? $70? This phone's worth $200. And then we need to calm them down. So let me share the screen again to show you guys the psychology of this. So we're starting off with a low price, right? And we anchor the low price in their brain. And then they're going to get mad, which is okay, because we want that reaction, because that shows we've offered a low enough price. But then we need to have some class and empathy as we lowball, so it kind of counterbalances their anger and their emotion. So we have to give a little bit of empathy at this point, say, you know, I totally understand. You know, I'd love to give you a lot more. Unfortunately, the market is not allowing me to pay. Now, at this point, he knows that he can go higher. For example, I know I can go up to 110 all day long and still make a good $80 profit on that phone. But I'm going to hold at that 70. So he shovels shit 3 times. This is the rule. He says the rule of 3. Shoveling shit 3 times. So he shovels shit, shovels shit, shovels shit. And then he says, I give him a watery piece of Jell-O. And he says, and that watery piece of Jell-O is like giving them a filet mignon at that point. Because I've been shoveling shit, shoveling shit, shoveling shit. And then by the time they get this watery piece of Jell-O, they're like, wow. Like if you had a chance to eat a piece of shit or eat a piece of watery Jell-O, that's not a hard decision, right? You're like, wow, I'll take the watery Jell-O all day long. I know, again, guys, this is very vulgar. And I told you this up front. So you guys gave me permission to do this. Please don't hate me for saying this stuff. Okay, this is just how I'm trying to relate it so it's very easy, right? So what happens is we're anchoring them like, okay, this is it, this is it, this is it. And then they're ready to give up, like, I'm not selling this phone to you. And you say, okay, I totally understand. I tell you what, I really want to buy this phone from you. And, you know, if you're willing to come to me, I could come up to at least 80 for you. And now that's kind of giving them the watery piece of Jell-O, right? That's like, wow, 80, he came up $10. And we offered him 70, and we stuck with 73 times before they get upset. So here's the thing. Now you need to know when you make these offers how to counterbalance their anger. Okay, because if you don't do this with care and empathy, you know, they might get really mad. So when they get upset, it's important to react with "I totally understand," or, you know, it's totally up to you. So one of the things he loves to say is, you know, it's your choice. It's completely your choice. It kind of puts someone at ease and makes them feel relaxed without feeling like they're getting taken, kind of. Oh, are you crazy? I'm going to find somebody else to sell it to you. I totally understand. Look, it's your choice. It's totally up to you. But I'd love to get your phone. I would love to put some cash in your pocket if you'd like to do some business with me. I tell you what, I'm willing to come up to 80 for you. Would that be fair? And now you're giving them that piece of Jello. They're like, wow, okay, finally they get a piece of Jello. And then he says he moves from the Jello to, like, let's say, a piece of cornbread. Before he doesn't want to give him the steak. He said he's only going to give him the steak if it's like the absolute last thing and he really needs the deal. But he said one of the biggest things about negotiating is that you need to be willing to walk away, right? And I think sometimes we feel like we need to get this deal. Like, please say yes, please say yes. Oh, come on, I want this deal so bad. But did you guys ever notice when you really need a deal, you never seem to get the deals? Has anybody noticed that? But when you don't care so much and you're not really trying, it seems like the deals tend to come to you. Like when you're very relaxed and you're just kind of like making offers and you're like, oh, I totally understand, and you don't really want it bad, it seems like we get more phones when that happens, right? And this boils down to not needing the deal, because that gives you leverage in a negotiation. When you don't need the deal and you're not desperate, the other side can sense that, and then that gives you power so that you can hold out. You can shovel the shit a couple times and be like, it's totally your choice. I totally understand. I'd really like to get the phone from you. If you can't do it, you can't do it. I definitely agree. I'm going to leave it up to you. And you could say something like that. I'm going to leave it up to you. And let them make that decision. Frankie says, some of my best deals where I wanted $200 for my iPhone 6, pass it on, they come back in 2 days. Absolutely. And sometimes it's better, rather than to try to close them on the spot, to let them come back a day or two, because you make more profit. Now, some people disagree with some of these philosophies because they're like, well, I want to buy every phone, Dave, and if I pay more, they're going to sell me more phones. I disagree with that statement, and I'll tell you why. Because one, we are at, here's our sales right here, is 35,000 for the last 31 days, and our profit margins are insane. We are buying phones for like 360, like these iPhone XS Maxes. I see some members buying them at like 550, 600. We're buying them at like 350, 380. Our profit margin is like almost 50%. We just sold an item for $1,000 that we paid $400 for. It was some kind of like scanner or something like that, right? So we're making massive profits on our phones and we're doing big numbers. So I think it's not true. I don't think you need to pay more for phones in order to get more phones. I think you just need to present it confidently to people and put them through this proper negotiation process so you can make money. And why is this crucial, right? Alex says, when I am tight on money, I'm tighter on my offers and more than actually say yes, say more. Yes, when you do hold on your offers, they appreciate it more. Remy says, I made that mistake, paid more trying to get more phones, and my supplier got greedy. Yes, exactly. They don't respect you when you try to give them what they want quickly. They respect you more when you actually make them fight for the deal. Now, I'll tell you guys a quick story, and we'll get back to negotiation, and just so you see how this philosophy works. So I remember this was about 10 years ago when me and Amy didn't have a lot of money, my wife, and we were broke. And I remember one day I heard this cash for gold ad on the radio. And you guys all know we put up these ads, cash for phones and stuff like that, right? Well, we had found this gold earring in a parking lot. And, I were like, wow, cash for gold. We're going to get rich. Let's go. They're giving away cash. Let's see what we can get for this thing. So you go to this hotel, and there's this lady at the desk, and, she's doing the appraisal on the gold, right? So she takes the gold, she puts it on a scale, and she says, oh, okay, I can give you $60 for that. Now, me being a salesperson at the time, of course, I'm going to negotiate. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I had no clue what this thing was worth. She could have told me $10, and I probably would have taken it. I said, $60, can you do any more? I had no clue how that thing was worth. I just wanted to see what she would say if I said that, right? So she goes, now I'm a pretty good negotiator and everything, right? So I just naturally am negotiating because I like to negotiate. And she goes, well, let me talk to my boss and see. She goes, okay, well, I got you 5% more, so we can give you like 70 on it. Is that okay? I was like, oh, can you get it? Can you do any better? Again, I had no clue what this thing is worth. Nothing at all. No idea. But I just asked anyways because I'm a negotiator. And that's what I like, to get the best deals on stuff. And she goes, no, I'm sorry. I can't do any more. And when she said that, I was like, okay, she must be at, the final price because she's not giving in anymore. She seemed confident. So I was thrilled, and I went back to Amy and I showed her the cash. I was like, look at this. I got an extra $10 because I negotiated. I was all proud of myself, right? Now, 5 years later, I started my eBay business and I started flipping stuff. And some of the stuff I learned how to do was flip some gold in the beginning. And then I realized you need a license for gold, so I stopped that. I realized you're not supposed to sell gold without a license. But, for a couple months, I started buying some gold. And I realized that the amount of gold I sold her was worth over $160. So she made over 200% profit on that ring, on that earring. Now, here's the thing. If she had told me for the first offer 130 or 100 because she wanted to be fair and she wanted to give a higher price to increase the chances, she probably would have actually lost the deal, because I would have said 130. Oh, no way. Can you do any more? Oh, no, I gave you a good price. I can't do any more than 130. I would have probably taken the earring, went to another place, shopped it around because she wasn't willing to negotiate with me, and given the business to somebody else. And then I would have said, oh, wow, actually 130 was pretty good because a lot of other people offer me a lot less on this. But she would have probably lost the deal because I would have gotten lazy and I would have said, I don't really feel like going back to that place, so I'll just sell it to this other person for $80 or something. This is happening every day to all of us, where someone is calling us up and we're offering too much up front and not leaving any room to negotiate. And then next thing you know, we're losing that deal because the customer thinks that we're not willing to work with them, where we really gave them an amazing price. So it isn't the deal that we're really giving them that matters to get the phones. It's only what they think about the deal. Does this make sense? Does that story help you guys a little bit? Do you guys understand why this is so crucial? Like, why lowballing it's not just okay, well, yeah, I'm going to be greedy and make more money. No, it's absolutely necessary for our business, for us to thrive and make more money. Now, here's why lowballing is also not only a luxury, but it's crucial, is this. Let's say you guys buy 5 phones, okay? And now I've heard some members say okay, I'm going to, this phone's going to sell for 100. I'll pay 50 for it because I'm still going to make $30 after. Well, let's push it a little bit. I'm going to pay 60 because I still make a $20 profit, and $20 is better than nothing. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And I'll tell you why. Because if you buy 5 phones at $100 and you only make a $20 profit, that's $100 total profit in 5 phones. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to make $10 an hour, right? Do you? I want to make $100 an hour. So at 5 phones, we're talking about maybe 2 hours worth of work to make 2 or 3 hours worth of work, maybe make $25, $30 an hour. Now, if you're a phone flipper, you should be making $100 an hour. Now, that's if everything goes perfect. Who here thinks everything goes perfect in this business? Anybody? Who here has been never had a problem, never got a return, never saw a problem with an item, never overpaid, the market never dipped, nothing ever went wrong, right? So, right? So, guys, if we pay too much for that, right? And we only make $100 profit on 5 phones total, that means if one phone gives us an issue, we lost all our profit on all of those phones over one phone that maybe got returned, something happened, we had an issue. And this is where people get really emotional about returns because they're overpaying, right? So now let's look at it this way. Let's say you buy 5 phones that are going to sell for $100 at only $30, right? Because you're good at lowballing, this is what we pay all the time. This is our average price on a $100 phone is $30. Most of the phones we sell for 100, we bought for 30, about 80% of them. Okay, so this is not like an extraordinary, out of the ordinary deal. This is average price that we're offering, and that's 100 minus $10 in eBay fees is 90. So that's a $60 profit now. So $60 profit times 5 is $300 in those phones, and we're only invested in only $30 a piece. So even if something goes wrong, we're making really good money on them. We're making $300 on a total of $150 investment. That's doubling our money. Now, if something goes wrong and we lose $50, we're still left with $250 profit. So this is crucial that we lowball. Okay. So now that we know this, did you guys have a question on this? Anybody have any feedback? Who's finding this helpful, or you want to move on to a little more advanced stuff? I just wanted to break down the foundation so you guys know, and I'm going to show you guys the the process to lowballing as well. So it's helpful, good stuff. It's great, very helpful. Okay, good. So now that we know this, so it's crucial. And I see some people now. I've seen guys. Some of the guys that came into VIP, if you guys don't mind me putting you on the spot here for a second, I'm not going to mention any names, but we've had guys that have done $15,000, $20,000 a month. They went into our one-on-one coaching program, the VIP program, and I looked at their profit margin were only 20% when they first entered. Now, 20% of $15,000 in sales is only $3,000 profit, which is very low. Okay, we're making almost $20,000 profit this month at $35,000 in sales. Now that makes it worth it to get up in the morning for me, right? Like this makes all this bullshit worth it. Like dealing with eBay returns, posting ads every day. Like who here would get excited if you know you're going to make $10,000 profit this month? Who would be a little bit more motivated to get out of bed today and post ads for 20 minutes or deal with these people yelling at you or, having to travel 20 minutes to pick up a phone, right? Right? This is why we want to deal with the bullshit, is so we make profit. Not so we can make pennies and peanuts and get by. We want to make fistfuls of cash. So to do that, we have to have this mindset that we're going to make this kind of profit every single time we deal with customers and every month. So people are saying, get the coffee ready. Let's go. Hell yeah. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad you guys are buying into this and getting excited, because it is so exciting when you're making these kind of profits. It really is. To know that you're making $2,000, $3,000 a week in profit, not in sales, you can do quite a bit with that money, right? And like Feldon, I know Feldon, we increased his profit margins so much, and now his sales went up a lot. Now his wife is barely even working. She cut her hours in half. He just took his family on a spending spree for the whole week. Like this is what it's about. How does it feel, Feldon? Do you mind unmuting yourself for 1 second? Because Feldon was one of those 20%ers in the beginning. So I want you to say, Feldon, how has this, lowballing mindset and this increase in sales like all changed your life?
I would say it definitely had a huge impact on me. One of the biggest things was just watching my son and my wife at the restaurants, and wherever we went, I took them to a few entertainment events as well. Just to see their faces light up when I just pulled out the cash and just paid for whatever. My son made a comment. He said, "Dad, you're just going to leave $100 on the table like that?" And, I smirked a little, but it really made me feel great. I'm just like, yes, it's no big deal. They need their tip and, we got to pay for the bill. And then we just left, and he was just in awe the whole day. And my wife was really happy. So it's definitely a great feeling, and it's had a huge impact on my life. I finally feel like, a good husband to my wife. I feel like the man of the house.
That's awesome. And like even Feldon is just, I could sense the air of confidence in you, Feldon, versus like if you watch a video with Feldon like 3 months ago, like listen to his like composure, his attitude, his persona. It's different now. Like he feels like do you feel more like a real man? Like you can take care of your family and your wife and your son are just appreciating you. It's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It feels a lot better than having to rely on a job and, worrying about the bills getting paid if one day they want to let you go or something like that. Not putting jobs down, jobs are great, but I never want to have to rely on someone else to make sure that my family's taken care of. It's scary to wake up in the morning without knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. At least in this business, I know how my days are going to go every day because I control it.
Awesome. Well, Feldon, I don't want to take up too much of the group chat, but I'm super proud of you, man, and it's just awesome. You're really inspiring the hell out of the rest of the group, and there's other guys here. So if you're also crushing, there's other guys here that are doing amazing too. So please don't feel like left out in this. I know some of you guys are doing absolutely amazing as well, and congratulate you guys. So wow, you're getting some pretty positive comments in the chat there, Feldon. So getting back to the lowballing, guys, I wanted you to see how it feels like to be able to do this for your family, so you have the inspiration. Because remember, we kind of need a reason for this, right? Because when this person, you lowball this person, they're like, You know, how could you get away with making offers like this? You know, you people make me sick. We need this like light at the end of the tunnel. This whole reason, like what Felden's doing with his family right now, like this is what we need to think about. The whole reason we're dealing with this bullshit. At the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I don't care about this stupid person. I don't care about this person that's getting mad at me right now. You know why? Because I want to be like Felden at the end of this month. I want to take my family out. I want to take them to dinner. You know what? And if I have to, you know what? Every time I get one of these guys, I'm going to close 2 other deals. So that means for every one of these jerks, right, I'm going to make $300 profit. That's what I want. And, you know, so I want 10 more of these jerks. I want 10 more of these assholes to yell at me because that's what's going to put me in Felden's position next month. So good. Keep bringing it on because this is the life that I want. I want to be able to enjoy my profits and make money, and I don't want it to feel hard. So guys, who here is, let's be honest, let's get really vulnerable for a second here. Who here has ever run their business on low profit margins? I tell you what, I've done it. I've tested this. When I started this business, I tested all kinds of things, guys. And this is why, you know, I've created so many students that have been successful and done over 10,000 a month, and why I'd be able to help like these guys one-on-one coaching VIP do so well is because I've tested every single thing in this business. And I tried running it on 20% margins, and it didn't work. I was miserable and wanted to shoot myself. It was like, why am I getting up every day? And then when I got a return, it was just so much more painful. So what I'm telling you all this because I want to let you know sometimes you're going to lose deals that you might have gotten, right? You might lose a deal that you could have gotten a 20% profit on. So what? So what, right? If at the end of the day, you can make, let's say, you get 10 phones, you make a $200 profit on, or 20 phones, you make a $50 profit on, what would you guys rather have? Would you rather have less phones and make more money, which actually means less work, right? Because you're working less if you buy less phones and make bigger profits per phone, or would you rather grind to get a bunch of phones at small profit margins and put all this extra work in? People are saying less phones, more profit, right? And we talk about, I remember Chris was on this train before, and Chris, do you mind talking for a second?
Yeah.
Chris Schroeder, actually. Oh, Chris, you're doing great too, by the way. No, I didn't mean to show you. You're doing fantastic. I don't know if you want me to say your numbers, but you're doing awesome as well. But I was going to have Chris Schroeder come on and talk about it as well. Hey, Chris. So we had a conversation a couple months ago about profits, right? And you were kind of operating at lower profits at one point. Was that right?
Yeah, about 20%.
20%. You were at 20%. And then what happened now since you started doing that and started doing bigger profit margins?
I work a whole lot less. I was picking up probably 5 to 6 phones a day, and now I'm picking up maybe 2 or 3 to 5, but I'm making like $1,000 a day. So I mean, it's completely different.
$1,000 a day in profit?
Roughly. I made $1,000 today.
Oh man, that's what it's about, right, guys? Like that's exciting. How many hours do you think you work for that? Now, one thing I want to say, like, Chris, do you mind if I tell them your schedule?
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I'll let you tell your schedule. You could tell them your schedule, what you do.
Okay. I actually wake up around 8:30. Well, I wake up around like 6:30 to 7 because my son wakes me up. He's a 10-month-old, so we're playing around in the morning usually. And I don't really do anything until about 8:30. I just start posting ads and stuff, working on my Facebook ads, paid ads and stuff. And then I have people meet me 2 times a day. I have 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. and that is it. If they can't meet me between those times or at those times, then I don't buy their phone that day. I reschedule them for another day. And I've actually picked up more phones doing that than I have by running around picking up people's phones.
See, I absolutely love that. And that's what I've been wanting to, to really sell everybody on lately is that you guys can determine your own lifestyle that you want with this business if you're willing just to hold to your principles and your values. Like, was it scary the first time you told someone, like, if you can't do it, unfortunately, I can't buy the phone, and walk away from a deal, or tell them, or you had to do it tomorrow if they didn't meet your schedule, Chris? Were you a little nervous at first doing that?
I was a little nervous, yeah. But, after I did it a couple times, people, I don't really give them an option, right? The way that I say it is, or the way I text it is like, hey, I can meet you at 10 or 5. Which time works best for you? I don't even give them an option. It's 10 or 5. I'm there for an hour each time. I don't even tell them I'm there for an hour. I just tell them 10 and 5.
And that's awesome. So you're not saying what's good for you. You're completely taking control. You're leading them in the negotiation, and you're just giving them the options and saying, hey, we could do 10 or 5. What's best for you? You let them pick, because you're going to, either way, you're going to meet them to pick up phones at either time, right? And then what if they say, well, how about 1 o'clock, or I'll call you when I'm ready? And what do you say about that one, Chris?
I asked them, can you meet at 5?
Awesome. See, you guys see how Chris, he doesn't argue with the person. He doesn't even acknowledge almost what they're saying. He just kind of directs them to what he wants. So we always want to keep the focus on what we want on the deal. So he wants them to meet him at 10 or 5. So he's always just keeping the focus on the, I can meet at 5. Oh, can you do 1 o'clock? I can't do 1, but can you meet at 5? And then he's focusing on the time. And that's exactly like in our negotiations, how we want to do it. When they say, can you do 200? Unfortunately, I can't. I could do 100, and I can give you cash today. Would that work? Again, we're focusing on what we want. So that's awesome, Chris. And then if they say, well, no, I can't meet at 5 though. I really need the cash. No, I'm not available then. Can we do 1 o'clock?
Let's meet up tomorrow at 10.
Awesome. I love this.
I don't give them a choice. They have 2 choices to meet. That's it.
Now, some of you guys are like, wow, aren't you going to lose people? The fear of well, what if people, what if you lose a deal over that? You might, right? But let me ask you this, Chris. How many more deals have you probably gained by being more confident?
Oh, way more. Way more.
Because do you think people probably respect you more because you have values and you respect yourself?
Yes.
Right? For example, if I'm dealing with a guy like Chris who says I can meet at 10 or 5, and I see he's got a scheduled structure as a business person, do you think I think he's the guy who's going to rob me or club me over the head when I meet him? Probably not, right? Because if he's that determined that he's got 10 or 5 and he's not desperate, you know what I am afraid of? I'm afraid of this guy. 10 o'clock, no, I can't do 10. I can only meet at 1. Okay, I'll meet you at 1. I'll come to you. I'll do it, you can't do 100? I'll do 110. I'm afraid, I'm nervous of that guy. The fast talker, the one who's desperate, the one who's overeager, the one who's trying too hard. Those are the ones that I'm worried about. So see, a lot of people in this business, we tend to make it harder on ourselves because we're actually trying too hard to get the deals. It's when we actually hold true to our values and we're confident and we run our business like a real business, right? You don't go to Taco Bell at 3 o'clock in the morning and knock on the window and get, hey, somebody get in here and open up Taco Bell. I want a taco. They're like, well, Taco Bell's open till 2 a.m. But look, I want tacos. Somebody come in and help me. No, we're closed at 2. You can show up at, whatever, when 10 o'clock in the morning when we open, and we'll be happy to serve you tacos, right? Wouldn't it be weird if someone was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, fine, I'll go open Taco Bell for you. You'd be like, what the hell kind of business is running here? Are these people desperate? People must not be buying tacos or something because, who the hell would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to serve tacos? And so that's what they think. They actually think you're desperate when you bend to their will rather than staying firm to your values. So like Chris is saying, he's getting more phones because he is being confident and standing strong. And this is something, when I tell my wife all the time, if someone says they can't make it at 5, you leave the store. You don't stick around and wait to close a deal with someone, because that's not how we run our business. And sometimes she'll be like, yeah, but we're going to lose out. No, I said, no, we close at 5 and that's it. Because one, I want my employees to respect their time. I want my wife to respect her time. I want to respect my time. And I know we're going to get the business either way, right? I know for every one of those people that is, needs it now, we're going to get 10 other good people to replace it. We're going to actually get better customers, right? Do you notice, Chris, have you noticed any change in the type of people that you're dealing with, by the way, now that you're more confident and you're choosing how to run your business on your terms? Have you noticed the type of people you're dealing with getting a little better?
Absolutely, actually. Now that you mention it, the people that I deal with are way better now. Like, I'm not getting any like, uh, the crappy leads or anything. I mean, most of them know. Like, I get a lot of repeat business. I get 1 to 2 repeat customers every single day, and a lot of these are from meetings like this, and they know exactly which time that I meet. So usually they'll just text me and be like, "Hey, I'll be there at 10 a.m. in the morning," and I'll be like, "All right, what do you got?" Like, it's multiple people like that, but it's a lot of really good people.
Awesome. So I know this is a little different than the lowballing, but I feel like this stuff really helps you guys. Like, are you guys getting value from this? Because this is the reason we're in business is to have this awesome life, right? Like, you guys might have bought this course in the first place because you see me traveling all over the country, enjoying my life, having a great family life, and enjoying myself, and having a business that I'm not slaving over, right? And that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because it doesn't need to be a grind. It doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't need to be stressful. It can be very easily. It's just kind of, we tend to make it hard by doing these things that because we feel it's hard in the first place. And thanks so much, Chris, for sharing all that. So,
Yeah.
and this might be good to switch into the upselling. First off, before we move into upselling and building relationships, you guys have any more questions on the actual lowballing part? Any specifics, anything you'd like to know, like how we handle those type of things, the lowballs and what we say? So let's do, you guys want to do a quick like lowball like role play type of thing? Like, where I'll lowball someone and then I'll show you guys how to handle it when they get upset. Okay, so Feldon, you were really good role playing last time. You mind role playing with me, because you're buying a lot of phones, you're seeing these people, right?
All right.
Sorry, I know you're in the middle of eating there. I apologize.
It's cool.
All right, cool. So let's start off let's start off from the point where I make an offer, right? I see your son there, by the way. Hello. Your dad's doing an awesome job. He's a Superman. Let's start off with a point where I make an offer to you. So let's say you've got let's say it's a $300 phone, okay? Whatever phone you offered me, I appraised at $300. All right.
Okay.
Let's start here. I'm going to lowball you. Let's say it's like an iPhone 7 for Verizon, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I could give you like 160 on that.
And that's kind of low. You can't do any more? 160?
Okay, so at this point, well, let me role play and then I'll break it down for you. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do any more than the 160 on that. Sorry about that.
I was really trying to get 180 so I could fix my car. I mean, if you could give me 180, I could come right now. That would be great.
I unfortunately, Feldon, I really would love to give it to you, but it's just that it's tough because as a reseller, I have to make a profit, and the market just doesn't let me do it.
Yeah, I understand. So look, here's what I could do for you. I could give you the box, the accessories, and I could even give you the screen protector with the case. I have this really cool sticker on the back too.
I definitely appreciate that. I mean, that definitely, this is really nice that you're willing to include all that. That's awesome that you have all that stuff. But unfortunately, we don't pay more for accessories. Like when we sell these, people actually won't pay us anymore, believe it or not, for these accessories. So, it's helpful. I tell you what, this is what I'll do for you. As a courtesy, since you have this, I mean, we don't get more for it, but just to help you out because, you're willing to work with me, I'd be willing to do 170 on it for you. Would that work?
Could you do 175?
I couldn't.
It's only $10. You said 170?
170, yes.
170. Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, awesome. So, Feldon, I appreciate that. Okay, now, by the way, guys, when someone does say yes, right? If now, just so you know, you can use all this stuff in text just as much as on the phone, okay? So for a lot of you guys are like, I know, Dave, this is the phone, but I only text. It's the same thing through text, really, as it is on the phone. It's a little tiny bit of a change, but for the most part, the psychology is all the same, right? So, like, instead of me going, you can just type and in the text and just not say anything back. Wait a little bit, like wait maybe a minute to respond. Don't text back immediately when you're trying to negotiate a low ball, right? Like for some, I'll see people like texting back like laser fire the minute the customer says, I can't do 160, right? And then they're like, well, okay, what can you do? And they're like laser firing the text back at them. Like let them stew in it a little bit. Let them sit there and wonder what's going on. Say, and then wait 5 minutes and don't respond to them. Let them sit there and sweat for a little while if you're texting. Go respond to a couple other texts or something like that, right? And then follow up and see what he does. And as a matter of fact, I'll just say in a text, give him 10 minutes. He might just talk himself into the sale. He might just say, okay, I'll do the 160. I'll do the 160. I mean, this happens all the time. And it's the same thing if we're on a phone call. I always pause a little bit. 160, I can't. And then I'm just going to kind of calmly relax. Now, the other thing is when he does say yes, right, then you don't want to make him feel like you got the best of him. You want to make him feel like he still kind of won, right? Even though, I just got his phone for $170 and it's a $300 phone, I'm making big profit on that. I don't want him to feel like I made a big profit. So at this point, because I want to push, I want to now extract every bit of profit I can from this customer. So at this point, I want to keep this like we've got a good thing going on here. I just made a deal. Okay, well, thank you, Felden. I really appreciate you working with me on this. So by the way, I also buy a lot of different things. I also buy laptops, tablets, MacBooks, iPods. Do you have anything else that you're going to sell?
Yeah, I have a couple of Apple Watches, actually.
Sorry, my Google all of a sudden started talking to me. You said you have an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What kind of Apple Watch is it?
I have a few of the Series 4.
The Series 4? Oh, okay, awesome. I tell you what, do you mind bringing that down with you when you sell the other phone so that way I can take a look at it? I give you a price right on the spot?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, that would. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate it. Do you have anything else?
I have an old MacBook.
Okay. Would you like to bring that down?
Yeah, I could do that. I could bring that with the phone and the watches.
Okay. Awesome. All right, sounds good. So I'm going to give you the address to meet at. Do you have a pen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, everybody see what I just did right there? I said I'm going to give you the address to meet at. What did I not say? I didn't say, so where would you like to meet? I didn't say, where do you live? I didn't say, hey, how far away are you? I said, do you have a pen and paper? Let me give you the address to meet because I want to just meet him on my terms. Me, right? So this is how we do it at the store. We just say, hey, do you know where Buy Sell Fix is? In Warwick, let me give you the address. If you're working from home, pick a spot that you want to meet at, like a McDonald's or a Wendy's or a Starbucks, and give them that address and say, okay, so Felden, I'm going to give you the address for the Wendy's in Warwick, Rhode Island. Do you know where that Wendy's is? Are you familiar with Warwick at all?
Yeah, that's not too far from me.
Okay, it's 400 Bald Hill Road. Okay. How long can you meet me there? Are you able to meet in the next half hour?
In 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, fantastic. What kind of car are you driving, Felden? So I know I'll be able to see you. What kind of car are you driving, Felden?
I have a black Nissan Altima.
A Nissan Altima? Okay, awesome. So I'm driving a charcoal gray Hyundai Tucson SUV. It's a newer SUV. When I get there, if for some reason you can't find me, this is my personal cell. Please call me. And if I'm there, I'm going to call you. Is this your cell phone, Feldon?
Yeah, this is myself.
Awesome. Okay, so I have loads of appointments lined up today. So do me a favor. If you can't make it, please let me know if something changes, even if you're going to be 5 minutes late, because I just don't want to let down another customer. Is that cool?
That's cool. Yeah, I can
Awesome.
do that.
Okay, fantastic. And then just one last thing. Can you bring your ID with you? I just need to see an ID.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Okay, Feldon. So I will see you in 15 minutes there. You got the address?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, great. And then I will, and then if you want to bring down the Apple Watch and the MacBook, that would be awesome too.
Okay, I'll do that.
Awesome. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay. So now someone's saying, what if they don't want to meet you? You know, guys, we did 35,000 this month, and we didn't drive out to one person. Every single person came to us. Now, just want to let you know, guys, like a lot of people that are doing 30,000 a month, they're getting a lot of sealed phones in this group, which pumps the numbers up a lot. We don't even get sealed phones from people because we're a store. It scares people away. So we don't even get those guys selling sealed phones. So we're buying mostly all used cracked devices, $35,000 this month. And we have to convince people to come to us, and we're still doing that. So we very rarely lose anybody that is not willing to come. So it's about your strength and your conviction of the willingness for the person to come to you. You have to believe they are. For example, if you had a store, you'd have no choice. You'd have to make people come to you, right? Like literally, we're not even legally allowed with my license that we have from the Attorney General. We are not allowed to drive to someone and buy a phone. We have to convince them to come to us. And we get phones just like you guys do, through Facebook groups, Craigslist. We get them through paid Facebook ads. We get them through LetGo. We get them just like you guys. Just because nobody comes in and sees my store sign and buys. Nobody. We get maybe like 2 phones a year like that. The store doesn't do anything. It's only for repairs, right? So we have to train. We have to get people to come to us, period. So if someone's like, oh, can you guys come to me? Unfortunately, we can't. But we're happy to buy the phone from you. Oh, but I don't have a car. Can you get a ride? I could. Okay, great. When can you get a ride? Okay. Someone said take the bus. You can. So I don't want to even offer that. I'm just going to say, can you get a ride? Is there a way you can get here? I want to let them think about it. I don't even want to make suggestions because that makes me sound condescending or kind of desperate, right? I don't even want to say, well, you can take the bus, you can do this, you can do this, because that kind of makes me pushy and desperate, and I don't want to do that, right? I want to just ask them, like, well, is there any way you can get here? Can you get a ride or anything? Oh, yeah, I guess I could take the bus. Okay, cool. We're right near the bus line. So, it's only the place. I'll meet you at a place. It's like, a 1-minute walk from the bus. Is that cool? Awesome. Okay, great. Let me give you the address. You just don't cave in, guys. But because we feel like we have to do this to get the deal, like, I think a lot of people just give in because we feel like we need to go to them because they said so. We need to do all these things. We need to give them a higher price because they said so. If you stick to your guns and you're willing to be confident, you're going to be amazed at what happens. It's awesome. Chris Kripe he's doing very big numbers. I'm not supposed to say how much he's doing, but he's doing very big numbers, right? Because we wanted to keep Chris's private. We got a big goal for him for this month. He's got some big numbers. He doesn't have a car. And I'll put it this way. Chris has done multiple months over 20,000 a month with 0 car. Okay. So it's all just a mindset, guys. Someone says, for a while, I didn't have a car. People told me they couldn't drive, ended up getting a ride somehow. We still got the deal. Yes, guys, you got to push them. See if you think they're going to walk you through the sale, then, that's like an $11 an hour McDonald's person thinking, because they're order takers. Someone walks up to someone at McDonald's, right? And they order a cheeseburger, and that person processes the order. And that's why they get paid $11 an hour. Salespeople and negotiators are the richest people in the world, literally. Like I make more than a doctor. I make more. I just bought a really nice house on the ocean. The person who owned that is a surgeon, and I make more money than she did. Okay, and this is not to brag. This is all of you guys, right? This is not just me. This is like everybody here. If you learn the secrets of sales and negotiation, you can make more than most lawyers, doctors, surgeons, and any other profession out there if you learn these skills. But But just like a surgeon needs to practice on someone or they'll kill them, a sales professional needs to know the precise things to say at the right moment in order to get the client to agree so they make big profits, right? If a surgeon just went in and rushed into someone when they had a problem to cure someone, they would probably kill them. And that would be very bad for business, right? So the thing about sales is that when we mess up, we don't kill anybody. So we tend to mess up more because there's not as much pressure, right? And that's why we don't need to go to college or go to schooling for years to be salespeople, because we just screw up our own life when we screw up. We don't screw up anybody else's. But that kind of sucks too, right? So, and I'm sorry, guys, I'm speaking a lot of truth on this group chat, and I know you guys are tough and you can handle it, and I'm hoping this is helping you guys, because I feel like this stuff kind of needs to be said, right? It's important to hear these things. Someone says, yes, that sucks too. Okay, so remember, we're the ones that suffer when we don't do the right thing. So let's practice this. And a lot of you guys might be afraid to do some of these things. You might be afraid to lowball, to ask them to come to you. The thing is, just try to fake it till you make it, right? I'm not a big person on faking things, but it's kind of like acting as if. So if you just pretend you were me for 1 week, be like, I'm gonna like talk like Dave. I'm gonna act like Dave. I'm gonna do everything Dave says to do, right? And I just for 2 weeks, every single thing Dave says in the course and everything Dave talks about, I'm gonna watch a group chat and literally copy Dave word for word and see what happens. Watch. Oh, we're gonna mute everybody here. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Let's talk about now building relationships and upselling. I'm going to buy a silver chain. No, you don't have to buy the silver. You don't have to literally look like me. But of course, I don't look that bad, so it wouldn't be the worst thing. So anyways, getting back into it. So Feldon, do you mind unmuting yourself again?
Yes.
All right. So, by the way, speaking of looks, guys, right? I think it's important for your Facebook profile that you have a good, professional, friendly-looking smile on your Facebook profile, okay? I've seen some people that are having difficulties with getting leads and things like that with Facebook and Marketplace. And I probably, if like my daughter was responding to you on social media, I would take her phone away, right? So like, you don't want to be that type of person, okay? Like, you don't want to be the person that I'd be like, who's this guy you're talking about? Like, oh God, let's block that person. You want to look friendly, professional, right? Like inviting. And I'm sorry if this hurts, guys, that I'm saying this stuff, right? But it's not me, guys. It's like the real world is a lot more vicious than I'm going to be, because they're just not going to respond to you. They're not going to do business with you, right? This is just how people are. They prejudge. You could be the nicest person in the world, but if you don't look like it, if you look scary, you don't look professional, that's what they're just going to judge you by looks. It's not fair, but it's just how the world is, right? So it's important. Remy says, I've had leads hit on me, just saying. There you go, Remy. Remy did over 20,000 a month. It doesn't hurt. All right. Okay, look, you don't have to look like a supermodel. You don't have to look like a celebrity. You don't have to look like $1 million. But it helps to have a good smile. It helps to like be clean cut a little bit, just look decent in your pictures. And it helps to not have like Trump hating posts, politic posts, religion stuff on your profile. I've seen some scary things on people's profiles, that are members. And guys, that's hurting you. That's hurting you. People are looking at your profile and they are judging you, just being real. So if you have that stuff, I would change it. It's not good for repeat business. It's not good for business overall. It's always good to be a professional person. You always want to, you also don't want to be the secret guy behind closed doors and be like the different person. If you know me and you're around me, I'm Dave all the time. Like, this is me. This is me. If you're with, like, you guys have seen me in person that have come to boot camps, I'm like this. You see me on the group chat. My personality doesn't change ever, right? And I feel like sometimes people aren't always like that, right? So my friends, when I go out to meet people, I'm always the same way. I am a phone flipping guy. So people know me as the phone flipping guy. I get deals from friends all the time. I get deals from repeat customers. I have customers that come to the store and they beg to do business with me just because they like dealing with me, because I'm just a friendly, nice person, and I treat them well. So this is again, not to show off. You guys all could be doing this too, but it's to show you the importance of treating a lot of people with respect, being professional at all times, right? Like you can't be professional to someone's face and then go like do a big Trump, like big post about how Trump sucks. And I don't care about like politics at all, but I'm just saying like, if you're going to get into like sex, religion, or politics, you're hurting your business profession. That's just the truth. Those are things you just stay away from. You don't talk about on social media, and you don't talk about it in public with people. You don't do that stuff because you're hurting your image as a business professional. You always want to show and give an image of a professional, friendly, courteous, classy, respectful person wherever you go, because you never know what's going to lead to the next business. Okay? To customers, you might make a good impression on a customer today that goes back and he sells you 5 phones next week. Feldon and Chris, have you guys ever had this type of stuff happen?
What was that?
Feldon and Chris. And even Chris Kripe, if you want. Have you guys ever had this happen where you treated someone really good and they're coming back and selling you phones?
Oh yeah,
It's every day for me.
Right, and if you guys look at their profile, like Chris has a beautiful picture of his family and his baby. He's got a smile on his face, right? I mean, Chris is not wearing suits and looking like, Mr. Lamborghini driving businessman, but he's got a nice smile. He looks professional. He looks clean cut, right? He's got nice family pics. People feel comfortable. Look at Feldon. Feldon, if you look on his profile, he's got a nice smile. He's friendly. People feel comfortable doing business with him, right? So these are all important things. Now, a lot of people want to hide behind text because they are nervous dealing with people. And that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. You're not going to be Feldon and Chris the first month in this course, especially if you're shy, nervous. Okay, guys, I had anxiety disorder so bad that I wouldn't even leave the house at one point in my life 10 years ago. Okay, so like the guy you see today is not who I always was, but it's developed. It's just practice. And what I'm telling you guys today will help you alleviate that stuff, because usually people have those problems because they're not friendly, smiling, prejudging, and they're criticizing and all this type of stuff. All right. I don't want to get too much into this philosophical stuff, but I think this is important. How we treat everybody that we meet and how we do business with everybody is all going to come back to us. And both of these guys are doing over $30,000 a month. And you can see their image. You can look at their profiles if you want, follow them and look. And, there's a reason for this. Okay? And you'll see a lot of people that are struggling, and you look at their profiles and there's patterns. There's patterns, okay? And I've got 20,000 people in my free group, and I've got 1,000 in this paid group here, over 1,000. So I see a lot. And I'm just telling you guys what I notice, right? This is not my opinion. It's just what I've seen. Okay. Anyways, so getting back into now building relationships and upselling. So now upselling, who here is upselling every single customer that they deal with? Give me a yes in the chat if when you buy a phone from someone, you're asking them if they have laptops, MacBooks, tablets, iPads, iPhones, any of that stuff. Says yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I see 10 yeses, 12, 13, sometimes 50% yes. Pablo says no. Thank you for being honest, Pablo. We got one honest person on the chat so far. Jesus says not me. Thank you, Jesus. That's awesome. And we got about 12 people that did say yes. Norberto says yes. Awesome. Yes. We're going to see a lot of the 10,000 a month guys are upselling. Remy says, David, you told me to do it. I'm doing it. Absolutely. Chris says, I upsell every damn time. Someone says, you told me to, David. Oh, Jesus, I can't lie. Diana says 50-50. Well, thank you for being honest, Diana. That's good that you're not saying yes. You're saying at least 50-50. Jamie says, no, I've been nervous, scared, working on it. Okay. So guys, here's some tips for upselling. So when you upsell, first of all, it helps to have these, the people skills like I tell you, like smile. That's good. Be relaxed when you're with people, guys. Don't be nervous. Be relaxed. Just be relaxed. A lot of people say be yourself, but just be the best version of yourself. Be a relaxed, confident person, and don't feel like you need the deal when you're with them. And when you ask them, like genuinely believe that they're going to upsell something to you when you ask, right? So when you guys notice when I asked Feldon what else he had, right? Like, Feldon, if you don't mind coming on again, I said, so Feldon, thank you very much for selling me the phone. Do you have anything else? Because we also buy laptops, tablets, MacBooks, iPads, iPods. Do you have anything else for sale?
Yeah, I have an Apple Watch.
Okay, cool. Now notice I'm asking him as if I assume he has it. This is what I see. I've practiced with a lot of members, and this is how I've heard a lot of members do it the wrong way. They'll be like, So, Felden, thanks for selling me the phone. That's great. And I also buy other items too if you ever have anything.
Okay. Okay, cool.
So I'll see you soon.
Yes, I'll see you soon.
Okay, so if you sound like that, what do you think my odds of getting an upsell if I'm asking that way? Probably not good, right? Because I'm not really believing that it's going to happen. I'm not really asking him. I'm just kind of telling him, right? Chris says, let me tell you they're not good. Laugh out loud, Chris says. Yes, absolutely. Chris Crape says, Chris, do you want to come on and give a couple pointers?
Sure.
Chris, are you okay saying what your sales are at for the month or no?
Yeah.
Well, how much are you doing right now?
They're hovering in between 26 and 28,000.
Okay. Chris, do you have a car?
Nope.
Chris, how much did you have in your bank account 2 months ago?
After purchasing VIP, it was like under $1,000 left.
How much did you save in the last month alone?
I'm over to a little over $6,000 now.
That's how much you saved this month?
Yeah.
Wow. That's after you paid all your bills and everything?
Yep. I started paying my mom and rent and stuff now too.
Wow. This is a huge step, guys. For anybody who knows Chris, Chris has made amazing improvements. Amazing. And I've given a lot of recognition. I got to give Chris some recognition too. Like, look at Chris's confidence, the way he's talking. Chris has made amazing leaps and bounds in progress. If you guys ever met Chris a year ago, you know, you'd see that he has become much more of a professional businessman and a gentleman as well. So congratulations, Chris. It's awesome. So Chris, can you share any tips on upselling or building relationships with customers, some of the things that's helped you a little bit?
Yeah, like you said, just assuming people have stuff right then and there instead of pushing it off. I would do that thing where I'd be like, hey, if you ever get anything else, just let me know. And nobody would ever have anything else. I would never get anything from anybody else. So when I say it now, I'm like, hey, by the way, do you have anything else right now, like electronics, iPods, things like that? And then just being more laid back. I used to be like, oh, I got to buy phones today. And I think people can kind of, feel that stuff. So, yeah.
So now before, you've even had months where you've done 10, 15,000 in a month, and you still didn't have any money left over. And now you've done 25,000. You've saved, not only you've made more profit than 6,000, but you even saved in your bank account $6,000, right? And you're upselling. Before, what was the difference? Like, what was the change? How did you sound before when you used to well, actually you already kind of gave an example of that, but what you were doing is you were not saying now. You were just kind of mentioning it to them, but you weren't expecting them to actually do it. And have you had different results now that you're upselling people? What's the big
yeah, definitely. I'm getting more repeat customers. I think there's always improvement to be made, but yeah, it's a lot better now.
So give us an example of how you ask. Like, let's say I'm the customer. So that the other members can see you in action. How would you say that?
I would just go like, hey, you know what? Or like, hey, do you happen to have anything else right now? I buy iPods, MacBooks, any other kind of smartphones, even if they're cracked or damaged. Do you have anything else right now you're looking to sell?
You know that you mentioned it, I got a drawer full of iPods, and I have a few classics, like 160 gigabytes classics. You buy those?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
And there's still obviously room to be improved upon, but yeah.
That was great. You did fantastic with that, Chris. That's excellent. And and obviously it's paid off because your profits are higher. And are you working more or less, you think, Chris? How do you feel like, because you used to get really burnt out, you used to get really stressed, you used to feel like things were really hard. How do you feel now?
I'm probably doing the same or maybe a tad bit more work at 28,000 than I was at 10,000. It's not very much more work at all.
So you're working almost the same hours at 28,000 as you were at 10,000.
Yep.
How many hours do you think you put in a week?
Probably a couple of hours a day. It's not very much at all.
Couple hours a day?
Yeah.
Awesome. For the people that want to know how to get people to come to you, how do you ask them that, Chris?
I went over that on Aaron's group chat. Basically, all I do is go, hey, I can come to you, or I can come to you and I take $10 out of the price per hour that I'm gone, 10 hours per hour I'm gone, and gas money there and back. Or the faster option is I can meet you here and I can pay full price, and that works very well for me. Kind of talked before about it's like the bias of people not wanting to lose something, so they already see that they're making more by coming to me, so they come to me. I think you talked about it before. It's like a bias of not wanting to lose what you already have, or somebody taught me that.
So you say if you meet, yep, that's exactly what we talked about before, was that, so if you meet near me, they get the regular price, and if not, they lose out and you'll come to them or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, and like 97% of the people will come to me, and then the other 3%, if it's like a really good deal, I'll go to them. I'll find a ride or something, but most of them I just pass on.
Awesome. So guys, we covered a lot of advanced stuff. I hope for the beginners it's not too intimidating, because a lot of the stuff for the basics is in the course. I want to give you guys really good value and mindset too, because you might have heard all this stuff, but I really want you to see it in action, like with people actually doing it, other than me, because I'm doing it, but it's good to see other members that are doing it that I've trained. How did you guys feel about the group chat today? Was it helpful? Who thought this was like, you're going to make some more profits now and excited to go out and make more money? Feldon says one of the best. Oh, well, Feldon, you're a VIP. I'm surprised you still think it's one of the best. Thank you. Jamie says, awesome, legit. I'm going to be Dave for the next 2 weeks. Awesome. Ken says, great. Frankie says, very, edited some of my response text. Good. Victor, helpful. Joseph says, very helpful. Says, this was all great stuff I needed. Fantastic. Great. The best since last time I was on. Wow. I always love these group chats. Awesome. I'm really glad you guys liked it. Diana says, shovel shit, General Cornbread. Good job. Okay, guys. So I hope this was helpful. I know we didn't give specific responses. We have the script in the course. You have the objection and rebuttal script, right? Sometimes I feel mindset is more powerful than the actual words, because if you know why you're saying something, you're more likely to do it than if I just tell you to say it, right? And I feel like I give people the script and then they I'm not closing any deals anyways. It's because it's really not coming from their own mind. So I felt that this was important for you. Jesus says, thank you, Dave. I appreciate everything. You're a great one. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate all you guys that actually take the advice and you go apply it and are crushing it. That's just awesome. And you guys are doing fantastic. I got to get going now because it's 9:15. Francisco says, how low should we start? Start on what you're comfortable with. If you guys who has the negotiation manual where I show the percentages based on what profit margins to buy, it actually tells you the range that you can offer. And it goes from this percentage to this percentage. You can start on the low end or maybe even a little less than the lower end of the percentage and then go up to the high end. And that's how you can, do your negotiation percentages. It is the negotiation and offer manual. It's in the documents in the main section of the course. Diane says I have it as wallpaper on the phone. Oh, sweet. It just says, David, what's the website for the course? Like how Aaron has next level, I forgot. So I'll send it to you. I gave the web. You're talking about the website with all the videos, right? That's right here, Phone Flipping Mastery Course. That, by the way, that's the offer making percentage guide right here. This is the one that tells you the percentage to offer. You can just download that and use that. It's got all the percentages to offer based on each price. So Jesus, just message me and I'll send you the link for this so you can get into it. All right, guys. Everybody have a great day. If anybody is interested in VIP at all, by the way, like these guys, Remy, Chris, Feldon, and even the other Chris, I privately coached him. He wasn't in VIP, but I had privately mentored Chris previously because I've known Chris for a while. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching from me and you guys want to be one of the next VIP members, like these guys, you can see these are real changes. These guys are growing into real business professionals are literally becoming different people. If you're interested in working with me, if you guys like, feel free to message me. We can get on a phone call and see if you're a good fit for the VIP program. So I really do love working with these guys one-on-one. It is a lot of fun. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys later on. See you on the next group chat. Good luck.